Hi, it's Ace.
Hey Ace, how are you today?
Great.
Awesome. Listen, I just wanted to let you know this is Cassius here in Edmonton, Canada. I host the Cassius Morris
Oh, it's
Show.
great.
Yeah, I've wanted to have you on the show for a very, very long time. I've been a fan of yours since I was about 8 years old. I'm 19 now, so just thank you so much for taking the time.
My pleasure.
Awesome. So, of course, the people all want to know what's going on in Ace's world. Are you happy right now? You got the new album coming out. Tell us what's been going on.
I couldn't be happier. My career has really been on the upswing, and this new album I think is one of the best albums I've put out in a long time. And the pre-sales are going through the roof, and it's just onwards and upwards. Yeah, I just moved into a new mansion with
Nice.
Rachel, and instead of 1 acre, now we have 4 acres.
Beautiful. Are you in Los
So
Angeles?
everything. We live north of San Diego in Rancho Santa Fe.
Nice, beautiful. And do you still have the property? I believe it was in Connecticut.
I sold that a while ago.
Okay, gotcha. And that was where you had the original home studio. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
and you
yeah,
have
I
a new
just
one now.
finished. Yeah, I just finished. My engineer flew out for a week, and we just wired up my studio here.
Beautiful. And is that where you recorded
And,
Spaceman?
we recorded Spaceman in my other residence that was about a half a mile from here. That was on 1 acre. And we just moved the whole studio, disconnected everything, brought it over here to the new house, and reconnected everything last week.
Awesome. Sounds like you guys
And
have been on the move.
I have a much bigger control room now, and a larger drum room. So it's beautiful. Everything's more spacious. 14-foot ceilings.
Wow. Sounds absolutely incredible. It's going to give you a beautiful space to go in and, keep creating more music that we all want to hear. And on the new record, Spaceman, I've been absolutely loving this record. And I've been hearing influences, from Queen, Guns N' Roses, Cream, the list goes on and on. Of course, all groups that you've been vocal about enjoying. Do you consciously think about incorporating musical influences into your music? Or has this kind of just been your world for so long that your influences naturally come out?
It's in my subconscious. It's not something I consciously do when I play solos and stuff or write songs. It's just embedded in my subconscious since I was a teenager. Led Zeppelin, Clapton with Cream, Hendrix, the list is endless. And, those are the guys that taught me how to play guitar because I copied their solos as a teenager. And as I got older and eventually joined Kiss, it's very evident that my style incorporates all those guys kind of mixed into one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like a super group of styles, so to speak. And it is evident that you've loved this, for your entire life. You talk on the album about how rock and roll sets you free. Was there ever a time in your life after discovering rock where you maybe veered away from music or even maybe thought about changing your path?
No, I always knew that music was my calling.
Yeah.
I went through some ups and downs with drugs and alcohol, but after being sober now 12 years, that's a faint memory.
Yeah.
So life's good today.
Absolutely. And congratulations on your sobriety. Does it feel a lot different performing sober? Yeah, no problem.
It feels better.
Yeah.
I have more fun. I'm more focused. It's more fun playing now than it ever was. In the past, sometimes when I was a little loaded, I'd miss a cue or I'd forget a lyric, and now I'm much more focused, and I'm changing the lineup in my band to. I'm actually going to start working with a band that backed up Gene.
Oh, nice.
And I worked with them in Australia, and they also did 8 shows with me in Japan. And I realized that, I think they were, better than my current lineup, so I've decided to make a change.
Nice. You got some new energy.
Yeah, younger and more hungry,
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to meet those guys. They're really, really nice guys. What was that like for you going to Australia and Japan with Gene? Because those are areas where, the Kisteria really, really took over in the 70s and 80s. How was that?
Well, I've had a good relationship with Gene for a while now. We reconnected. I did about 3 or 4 vault experiences with him. He came down to my other studio that I mentioned where I cut Spaceman and wrote 2 songs with him for this record. And so it felt very natural working with Gene again. I would get up and do 50 or 60 minutes, and then Gene would come on, and then I'd just hang out backstage, and then he brought me back on at the end of his set, do Rock and Roll Night and Deuce.
Awesome. And did that make you feel like...
And the place went crazy.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. I'd be going crazy too. Does it bring back memories of, the 70s and the early days where you guys were back in that loft painting your faces? Is there any nostalgia in it?
We weren't wearing makeup, but that really, the vibe is still there.
Yeah.
You got to understand, though, I used to room with Gene for years on the road before we really hit it big with the Alive record. We had 3 albums out previous to, Alive. And, we used to stay in Holiday Inns and drive around in vans and station wagons.
Yeah.
And me and Gene roomed together. So, I guess I'm probably, I know Gene better than maybe anybody.
Yeah.
Except his wife.
Yeah. Hopefully she knows him better. And, a relationship like that, it goes back so far. So, of course, that's a brotherhood that can never be broken. And you're going to be on the Kiss Cruise next month. I'm curious, what was your first reaction when you heard that they were going to be launching a Kiss Cruise?
Well, they've been doing Kiss Cruises, I think this is their 7th or 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And originally, Doc McGee called me about 6 months ago. I was in Vegas, just relaxing with Rachel. And out of the blue, he called me and asked me to do the cruise, but the money wasn't right. And I turned it down. And then I think about 2 or 3 months ago, they contacted my agent. And the numbers were good, so I decided to do it. I thought it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a really big treat for the fans as well. And speaking of the fans, one thing people are curious about is they know that you've had a love for cars for quite a long time. And I'm curious, do you still pursue that interest? And if so, do you have any new additions to that collection?
Right now, I just have a Bentley and a Jaguar.
Okay. Hey, not too shabby. You say it like it's...
That's good enough. Good enough for me.
Yeah, I think that should be
good enough. I'm going to pick up I got to get, I had an SUV. I gave it to my daughter because her car broke down. And so she kept the SUV. So I got to get another SUV. So I don't know. I'm probably going to pick up something like a Cadillac Escalade or something.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that's next up on the list. That's very cool. Another question for you.
Yeah.
We see all these rock bands coming up. Of course, there's, rock is still alive and well. But do you think that the groups that are coming up now will be able to reach the legacy level of the Ace Frehleys and the Aerosmiths and the Guns N' Roses? Do you think it'll get to that level?
I don't know. The music business has changed so much since, the 70s when we started. It seems like rap has really taken over the business, and I don't know, power. How would you categorize it? Power pop, and then there's this new insurgence of like these white rappers who are like
they have mumble rap and they have trap.
I don't even know all the names because I don't really listen to it or keep up with it. But there doesn't seem to be any groups like Kiss or Led Zeppelin or the Cream emerging.
Yeah,
you know. And it's sad that it seems like that whole genre, the kids have, new bands have forgotten. I mean, I'm not aware of any new groups out there that are, sounding like those bands did.
Yeah, definitely. That being said, does it surprise you the amount of young people and teenagers that come to your appearances and shows?
Well, me and the guys in Kiss, we're pretty much an institution. So,
yeah,
I think some people come because they're true fans. Some people come because they're curious. We run the gambit. At my shows, I see like, couples in their late 50s, early 60s, bringing their kids.
Yeah.
It's a really weird cross section of people, but I love it.
Yeah, that must be so special to watch this legacy, live on for so many years. And we hear a lot of fans, of course, all the fans love your solo work and they're showing up in droves to see the tours. But, I heard you say in an interview the other day that a lot of people say they want you back in Kiss. And I'm just wondering from, your perspective, a lot of people sort of speak for you. Do you feel closure with Kiss?
Well, Kiss, I was one of the founding members of Kiss and made Kiss what it is today,
Yeah.
Tommy Thayer is just trying to copy everything I created. He hasn't come up with 1 inch of anything original.
Right.
And, I think from what I read on the internet, I think the fans really want me back in the band. I'm doing fine without Kiss, but if it was offered to me in the right way, I'd seriously consider returning for, the last tour.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be special.
But I haven't been asked yet, so it's kind of up in the air.
Okay, it's up in the air, so that's a to be continued. Ace, I know you have a busy schedule. I just want to ask you one more question. Aside from the Spaceman record, when's the last time you actually sat down and listened to some music that you recorded?
Well, I do every so often. I pull out old records that, like I listen to some of the Frehley's Comet stuff. And, pretty much all my records are good.
Yeah.
They've been able to withstand the test of time. Especially my first solo album, which is 40 years ago. It's hard to believe.
Sounds like it was recorded yesterday.
Well, I don't know about that. The production on that record isn't it doesn't sound anything close to the production I'm doing today. But the songs hold up.
Yeah, they absolutely do. Solid as rock. Ace, thank you so much. Great luck on your tour and everything, and you have a fantastic rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks, Ace.